Hello, everyone. Welcome to our weekly check-in. So each week I try to come to you live, give you a little bit of a reading on what is happening this week. So let's see what we've got this week. We're going to start right off the bat with our Aries. Aries, what can you expect this week? What can you expect for Aries? Aries. Okay. So for my Aries, it seems like this week, lots of pentacles, which is good. So there's change in your environment this week for my Aries. And this change is coming from a place of hard work paying off in a sense, or hard work creating a change in your physical environment. So I think you've been working very, very hard on something, either it doesn't have to be a project, some part of your world you've been working really hard at. And that is about to show some dividends. You're going to be able to share that with others this week. And then the last card you had is the Judgment card. So there's a sense that this work that you've been putting in, I think this week you're starting to see some different perspective on it. There's a sense that you'll be understanding that even though, you haven't seen some results lately, there's a sense that the entire process itself is going to give you some form of satisfaction in knowing that this process has changed you. And maybe this week is an opportunity for you to start to see that you're at a place of stability within you, that you're actually able to share with others a little bit more. You're actually able to give back. And this sense of you coming to a sense of clarity around how you exist and why you are able to do what you can for yourself and for other people might make you feel happier or clearer or have a better understanding of that kind of thing. So I hope that this is a nice week for you, Aries. I hope it's stable and it works well for you. So that was Aries. Let's move on to Taurus. Taurus, sun, moon, and rising. Okay. All right. Okay. Similar energy. That's so funny. So my Taurus, you got a similar thing going on to the Aries here, because you got the eight of Pentacles again. So I do think it's another thing about the work that you put in somewhere, but you're kind of like really basking in your environment this week, I think. And I think for you, though, in particular, I think you're being advised this week for my Taurus, sun, moon, and rising not to work too hard, right? There's a sense of burnout energy here. So I think for Taurus, sun, moon, and rising, there's a real importance to maybe take a break, take a vacation is what I'm feeling, So is there some place you can take a vacation in your mind a little bit, Taurus, sun, moon, and rising this week, to help you alleviate some of this this burnout energy by giving yourself time and space and understanding to feel clearer from the work energy? I think that gives you a space of feeling a little bit more pleasant this week. I think there's a sense of needing to bask in your environment, do something lavish for yourself, stay in, sit on the couch more, take a bath, those kinds of things. Like, how can you help alleviate yourself a little bit? And the final one, we have the moon. So it's sort of like maybe tune into the moon cycle. We just had a full moon. So maybe there's a sense with that of being nurturing for yourself a little bit. Sometimes full moon energy can be really intense and a lot of emotional things can come up during the full moon. So maybe that's a part of where this burnout energy might be coming to a head this week. And so it's a good opportunity for you to take some time to yourself, to really give back to yourself, to give yourself a sense of clarity, a sense of peace, a sense of inner okayness, to alleviate any kind of discomfort you might be feeling. And if you're feeling a little bit lost right now too, if there's anything for my Taurus, sun, moon, and rising that's leaving you feeling like you just don't know where to turn next, you don't know how to go, you don't know what to face, there's a sense with this card that there's an opportunity in that to give yourself some peace of not needing to know, right? Sometimes with the moon card, we don't know what's ahead of us, and sometimes that's okay, right? Sometimes we want to have an understanding on what's ahead, but in reality, sometimes it's nice not to know. And so I think there's a little bit of leaning into the discomfort this week for my Taurus sun, moon, and rising of not knowing what's next and being okay with that, being okay without knowing what's next. All right, so Taurus sun, moon, and rising, that's it for you. We're going to move on now to Geminis. Real quick, Gemini, though, I'm just going to shuffle. So we'll get to you in just a moment. So next up is my Gemini sun, moon, and rising. Gemini sun, moon, and rising. All right, let's see. Gemini, sun, moon, and rising. What to expect this week for my Gemini, sun, moon, and rising? Okay. Ooh, ooh, ooh. No, not these cards. These keep coming out. Same cards over and over again. Well, okay, we'll leave them. We'll leave them. There's a sense here for everybody that there's a lot of common themes this week. And I'll touch in on those at the end. I've noticed too when some of the readings for everybody are repeated over and over again, that's a big message for the whole collective too. So this is for my Taurus sun, moon, I'm sorry, my Gemini sun, moon, and rising. Really brief, just like the Taurus and the Aries, there's a sense here for you guys that, be careful of working too hard and overworking. So I think overworking is a common theme for this week, but you guys got some different cards. So for my Gemini, sun, moon, and rising, this is an opportunity this week for you to really have a culmination in hard work that you've been putting yourself through. So for my Gemini sun, moon, and rising, there's a moment this week of really coming to clarity and understanding on really seeing the rewards for how hard you've been working at certain things for a long time. I think this is an ongoing situation here where you're really coming into a sense of clarity and reception of the hard work that you put in somewhere. And I think that it's a hard work that you put in of leaving inner turmoil. I think that you've put a lot of work on yourself. I think maybe for my Gemini sun, moon, and rising, there's been a lot of work going on the internal struggle, the internal broken energy, right? And so I think that this week there's a sense of you really starting to see the results for that because you have the sun. So for my Gemini sun, moon, and rising, there's a sense too this week of really giving yourself the time and the space to bask in your own private sense of niceness, right? That you can celebrate yourself, you can celebrate the day, you can maybe alleviate sort of that inner tension that exists within you of sort of relaxing a little bit, not taking yourself too seriously, not taking life too seriously this week, and really coming back to the sun. And the final card here is the Page of Cups. So I think that this is a new beginning and a new opportunity for you to learn how to become more emotionally secure and stable this week. So this week is bringing you an opportunity to learn how to be more comfortable with yourself, to learn how to be more comfortable with your emotions, even if they're challenging emotions, right? To become more comfortable with understanding that it's okay not to be okay and it's okay to be wherever you're at. I think that this week is bringing you an opportunity to really incorporate that more into your life and into your existence. So I encourage you to take some time to relax when you need it, take a break when you need it, and let this be a nice open moment for you. Okay, that was it for my Geminis. Next up, we have Cancer. I'm just going to shuffle the deck real quick. So we got Cancer, sun, moon, and rising next here. Okay, that one's come out. So Cancer, sun, moon, and rising. Let's see. What does my Cancer, sun, moon, and rising need to hear this week? Ooh, anything else? One more? Okay, a couple more. All right. Cancer, sun, moon, and rising. All right. So for my Cancer, sun, moon, and rising, I think you've been going through some challenging stuff here, Cancer, sun, moon, and rising, because you got two tens here. So you got the 10 of wands and the 10 of swords. So there's a little bit of a feeling here for my Cancer, sun, moon, and rising of maybe overthinking things and overworking. I think that there's a lot of anxiety going on in the mind. There's a lot going on that's kind of blocking you and keeping you feeling stuck and burdened. And so maybe this week is giving you a little bit of an opportunity to learn how to alleviate that a little bit. So you've got the Devil card here, and the Devil's really important to remember. It's not as scary as it looks, right? I think a lot of times, depending on whatever your background is, this can be kind of scary symbolism, but honestly, what this is the things that bind us, the things that we bind ourselves in. And so I think there's a real important energy. I can't show them that well, but you can see these two people here, and they have these chains around their neck as they're chained to the devil here, but they're chained very loosely, and they have decided themselves to put these chains on, and they can very easily take these chains off and walk away. So there's a sense that this week is really giving you an opportunity to see just how much you're kind of like perpetuating this inner struggle, this inner turmoil. And you have some ways of learning how to alleviate it for yourself. The big one here is the King of Cups, and really being the importance of being connected to your emotions is going to be really, really helpful this week. And I know my Cancer in general is the water sign. It's totally connected to the emotions. It's one of the most emotional signs in the deck. And so use that as a superpower this week for my Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Use your emotionality as a superpower, because your superpower is your emotional depth and your ability to connect to that emotional depth. And so really, tune into yourself this week and really kind of give yourself what you need. If things are tough, if you're overthinking things, if you're feeling anxiety, if you're feeling struggle, give yourself this week to do whatever you can to pamper yourself a little bit, to be kind to yourself, to be compassionate, to share this compassion with yourself. The King of Cups is the most compassionate, the most friendly, the most giving, the most loving card in the whole deck. So how can you take that energy that you want to give to everyone else? How can you give it to yourself this week? How can you give yourself that loving energy, that connection, that inner peace, that compassion to yourself? How can you connect to that a little bit more and really care for yourself this week? Give yourself as much self-care as you need and connect in. And then the final card too is, if you can't do it all for yourself, find help as well. This is the friendship card, the celebrating with friends. So there's a sense here too that maybe this week it's really, really important for you to connect with other people. If you've been isolating a little bit, where is your friend group? Where are people outside of yourself that you can go and hang out with and spend time with and reach out to and communicate with? Because there are people around you, it looks like, with this card, who want to connect and want to help you and want to be there for you if you're going through any kind of struggle or going through any difficulty. And so there's a sense of really, being open to connecting with people who want to help. And, maybe even, taking some time to be with friends and be social in a way that is much lighter than if you've been feeling really heavy inside and feeling this sense of inner heaviness. Is there a way that you can lighten that heaviness by being with friends in a way where you don't even have to think about your problems? You can be in a laughing, kind, celebratory energy with other people, and your own inner state doesn't have to be as serious because you're with other people who can help you feel a little bit more alleviated from that, a little bit happier, right? A little bit more kind to yourself and to others. So Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising, I hope that helps. I hope you have a good week. I know that's a little bit heavy energy, but if you are feeling heavy, don't worry about it. We all feel that. We all feel that. That's a part of being human, is going through these ups and downs and being so comfortable and with ourselves to be able to experience everything fully, even the challenging things. And it's the challenging things that are the hardest to be comfortable and with yourself on. But the more that you practice that, the more comfortable you're going to feel. Okay, so next up we have Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. What do my Leos need to know? Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. What to expect for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising this week? Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I need one more card at least. Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. There it is. Okay, so Leo, the first card that came out for you is the High Priestess. So this week, Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising is all about connecting to your intuition, taking the time to connect within and to experience your own inner landscape, your own inner world, and get the messages from whatever. If you are a spiritual person, connecting into that spirituality more, connecting into, if you believe in spirit guides or you have any of that kind of thing, connecting into that energy this week is going to be really important for you. There's a little bit about, really connecting into understanding things from a deeper spiritual perspective that's going to help you get out of some things. And I think, it might help alleviate a struggle with other people. So if other people, if something with others is really nagging on you this week, if you're having some kind of challenge, even if it's just a minor challenge, a minor nuisance with other people this week, just like you can't deal with someone or something or some situation that's external to you in a certain way, that's where going within is really going to help you. Because the more that you develop this inner landscape and this inner peace and this inner understanding, the less that those external things are going to get to you as much. And maybe something that, like other people being annoying and stuff, that doesn't have to affect you on an inner level, and it doesn't have to be anything huge. It can be something much lighter, much more like a nuisance. Think about a mosquito. A mosquito can either be a really horrible problem or just a minor annoyance. And so this week it's all about going within to let that go, and to nurture yourself, just kind of like Cancer a little bit in this. Cancer had some of this going on too, but really give yourself this nurturing energy and inner understanding, and compassion. Really share a sense of peace and compassion and love and loving kindness energy to yourself this week. And, if you're having challenges with other people, or you're having difficulty in some situation, some social situation, it's important to take some time to get on your own, to go back on your own a little bit, and really, give yourself some self-care in that. And, who you are, what you need, what you want. You don't have to let anybody else's opinions or what other people think of you or anything like that affect you this week. You can come back to yourself and understand that, in your own world, you have the peace and you have the power here. So don't feel like you have to fall down any kind of negative rabbit holes with other people this week, because that might show up a little bit. Okay, so Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I hope that's helpful. We're going to move on to Virgo. Let me just shuffle the deck a little bit. Okay, Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. What do my Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising need to know this week? Oh, great. 3 came out together. Okay, Virgo. Wow. Powerful feminine energy for my Virgos here. Yeah, wow. So there's a little bit of connecting to the divine feminine for Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising this week. The divine feminine is a receptive energy. It's an open energy. It's a receiving energy. So this week, it's really important for my Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising not to push too hard. This might not be a week of action for you. This might be a week of stepping back and allowing. So what can you allow into your life instead of trying to force something into your life this week? For my Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising, this is going to be a week of allowance, allowing action. Look at all these powerful women here in this deck. So you got like powerful feminine energy here on your side this week for my Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. And it's coming into the feminine emotional connection, right? And it doesn't have to necessarily be feminine, but you know what I mean? Like this divine feminine emotionality of being in tune with your emotions, being comfortable with your emotions, using your emotions as a superpower. This week, being emotionally in tune is going to help you move forward, right? As you become receptive. This is like being the antenna. This week for my Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising is being an antenna for things outside and allowing that connection to guide you in a compass instead of trying to force your will on the world. This is going to be tuning into what's happening like a satellite dish and then following that tuning. So one of the tuning that you're going to do is tuning into your emotions this week, your emotional state. How are you feeling? If something is making you feel emotionally really, really challenging, that's a sign. That's something that's telling you something. What is that telling you? I'm not sure, but that's for you to figure out, right? If your emotions are really going in any direction, what is that telling you? So you got the emotional state, you've got the Queen of Pentacles, which is the physical world. So your physical world is going to show you some signs as well. So as you're receiving this information this week, Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising, something in your physical world is going to give you a sign, a synchronicity, something going on in your physical world, seeing butterflies, seeing hummingbirds, whatever your connection to spirit is, numbers, angel numbers, anything like that. Some kind of synchronicity in your physical world is going to give you a message this week. So tune into that. There's something to be felt in the physical world as well. And you have the Strength card just to show you that you are strong this week. So if you feel, any kind of sense this week where you're like, I don't know if I can do this, I don't know if I'm capable, I don't know if I can, the Strength card is coming in to tell you, yes, you can. If you have an idea, if you have an understanding, if you have something that you want to take with you, Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising, take it. Go for it. This is big, big, big energy. So follow your own inner strengths. You are a strong person. Finally, we have the Empress. So for my Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising, this Empress card is showing you that there's an opportunity this week to tap into your creativity. So maybe there's going to be some ideas and some inspirations, like I was saying, that are really going to help you build some kind of creative sense of yourself into the world, birth a creative project into the world, create something, feel in tune with your own inner creative forces. So Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising, I hope that helps. I'm going to move on now to Libra, I believe. Let me double check. Yeah. So we've got Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I'm going to finish shuffling. All right. So my Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. What can my Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising expect? Okay, some more similar cards going on. So this is really some similar energy going for everybody. But for my Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising, this week is all about balancing. You are balancing some different urges this week, I think, for my my Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. There's a sense here, I know exactly what it is. You are trying to balance two different urges. You've got the urge to continue some long projects that you've been working on for a long time. There's been a lot of hard work in certain areas of your life. You've put in an incredible amount of work into something, and you haven't necessarily seen full results of that work yet. And so that's leaving you feeling this impulse to jump off and do something new, to have a new idea, to think of things in a new way, and to learn something new with your emotions. I think that maybe you're feeling the urge to break off and do something different because you put in a lot of time and energy and effort into something, and you might be reaching a point this week, Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising, where you're just like, I don't even know if it's worth it anymore. I don't even know if I can do it. But I think that there's a way to take a middle way through this, through this juggle, right? The juggler's not going to throw down either one of these pentacles. The juggler is balancing both of them. So there's a sense that there's a way to continue what you've been working on and to continue that hard work in some area, to not totally throw that hard work away this week, not get rid of it, not say, okay, I'm done with this. No, I think you need to keep doing this because you've put in so much in this area. It's not worth just giving it up now. That work has been really, really powerful and creative, and it's something that's worth continuing here. And so you can take a new approach to the work, though. And I think that's the biggest thing for you this week, is learning how to take a new approach and to see it differently. And that's going to help you feel fresher, feel more like ready to pick it back up, feel like you can actually do it. You can actually go for it. You can actually make it happen. And so that's where this Ace of Swords comes in. It's like there's some way for you to think about this work and think about this thing from a new perspective. You can take the same stuff you've been working on, the same thing you've been working on, but think about it in a different way and work on it in a different way. And that's going to be really tuning into your emotions this week. From my Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising, learning how to tune into your emotional state, your emotional being, and follow your emotions. If you are feeling totally overwhelmed by a certain aspect of this work, maybe do something different in it. Maybe do a different part of it. Maybe try a different method. Maybe do it a different way, but don't totally give it up this week. I think that's really important advice for my Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising, is to really, take the scales. And I think you are the scale sign, right, Libra? So really take that superpower that you have of balancing and juggling and use it to reinvigorate whatever it is that you've been working on for a long time, because that's going to help you feel better about it. And it's going to help you keep the long run. Now, remember, you're running a marathon through this thing. You're not running a sprint. So how can you sustain this work so that it can be done over time, a long amount of time, right? How can you keep it sustainable? So I hope that's helpful, Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to move on. Next up, we have Scorpio. Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising. What can my Scorpio expect this week? I'm just going to shuffle the deck a little bit. Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Okay, these want to come out. All right, what else? Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising. What can my Scorpios expect? Okay, one more. Scorpio. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising. The biggest thing for my Scorpios this week is to take some rest. There's an important need to take a pause, to take a breath, to take a back step, to sit down a little bit, sit back, rest. Make sure you're getting enough sleep this week for my Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising. There's a real, maybe there's even an opportunity this week. There's a pause for you that's an opportunity, should you take it, to really get some more sleep. You know, maybe you've been working really hard at something. You've been working a long time at something. This is an opportunity for you to take a breather, and even to celebrate what you have achieved, right? The Nine of Pentacles is a card where you've actually seen some results. So maybe this week, you know, especially with the King of Pentacles too, he's very stable. There's a sense of really incorporating your own stable sensibilities here, being stable within yourself. You know, where in your life are things stable? How can you focus on those this week? And, you know, take this opportunity to step back. I think maybe you've worked really hard at something and maybe you've achieved something. And so this is an opportunity, instead of just immediately going to the next thing, I think this is an opportunity to take a pause, to reflect on how far things have gone for you, Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising, to incorporate like how much you've actually grown, how much things have worked for you, how far things have gone, and really allow yourself to feel good about that. And then finally, this last card, I think by the end of the week for my Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising, you may feel like you want to move on. So I think next week is going to be that moving into something new energy. I think you're feeling compelled to jump straight into something different, to something new. But this week is really like, no, take a breather this week. This week, take a pause, take a step back, and then get ready for that, right? We just had the full moon. So my advice to my Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising is to take the rest of the moon cycle. We've got about a week and a half left, I think, of this moon. Take the rest of this moon cycle to reflect how far you've come, to feel really good about how far you've come, and to rest. Take some rest. Really, you know, don't force anything too hard, Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising. Experience your own inner stability, maybe regain stability. You know, maybe this is an opportunity to clean your space, to sage your your environment, right? To throw your trash out, to clean your dishes, right? To do all that kind of stuff. And then the new moon, which is coming up, I think, in around a week and a half or so, that's going to be your opportunity to really jump into the new direction, to jump towards that new thing. So take this moment as a step back, to breathe, to pause. And I think that you'll feel way more invigorated as you jump forward, and you might be able to get a lot more done in that next phase if you give yourself the time to really clear everything out and take the rest of this moon cycle to just do a full-on cleansing, physical cleansing, body cleansing, mind cleansing, space cleansing. Cleanse everything. And then once the new moon happens, then jump towards the new thing. Okay, so that was for Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising. Next, I think we have Sagittarius. So let me just do some shuffling real quick. We're going to shuffle the deck a little bit. Okay, Sagittarius, sun, moon, and rising. What does Sagittarius need to know? Sagittarius, sun, moon, and rising. Sagittarius, sun, moon, and rising. Okay. Oh, you got a lot of cards. All right, Sagittarius, you got a lot to know. That's okay. Sometimes that's where we're at. Okay. Ooh. All right, Sagittarius, I think you might be going through some challenging things, but I think they're leading to other things. That's interesting. You got some interesting energy. All right, first up, Sagittarius, sun, moon, and rising. You might be having some anxiety this week or some overthinking energy. So for my Sagittariuses, if there's anything you're overthinking this week, I think it's really important to not let yourself get taken away by that, right? With the Five of Pentacles, you know, this is kind of dark night of the soul energy. And some of my Sagittariuses might be going through that, but I think some of it might be with these two together. I think it's sort of like, I think there might be a little bit of catastrophizing energy going on here for you this week. So just be careful, be aware of yourself this week if that's what's going on. You know, things might seem worse in the mind than they actually are. And I think that's really important to remember, because ultimately here you have the Ten of Pentacles, which is ultimate stability, you know, having what you need. And, you know, we've got hard work here. So it's sort of like, I think for my Sagittarius, sun, moon, and rising, I think that you actually have all of the keys and stability at your disposal this week. And actually, I think the things in your life, if you were to look at yourself from an outside perspective, I think for my Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising, actually things would look way more stable and feel way more secure than maybe your mind is telling you they are. And I think that's really important to remember here. So for my Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising, what can you do to help yourself feel more calm about where you are? And how can you remind yourself all the things you actually do have? I think for my Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising, this might be a really great week and opportunity to practice some kind of gratitude practice. I think that could really, really help you this week. Really doing a gratitude meditation, actually telling yourself, okay, what am I grateful for? What do I actually have in my life? Yes, I have 1,000 things I wish I could have. I have 1,000 things I wish they could be. There's 10 million ways I wish things could be. But what do I actually have? What do I actually have here right now? And it's as simple as looking around and being like, you know what? I am thankful for air. I have enough air to breathe. Thank you for the air to breathe. I have a place to sleep. Thank you for having a roof over my head. I have food to eat. I'm not going hungry. Thank you for the food that I have. I have electricity. I'm so thankful for this electricity that's giving me power to see and to use the internet, right? I'm thankful for my tools that I have. I'm thankful for my phone. I'm thankful for everything, this body that helps me move through life. So for my Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising, this might be a great week to start a gratitude practice because that might help you make you feel a little bit more stable and helpful for yourself. And we have the Queen of Cups, which is really like connecting to your own emotionality and sharing that compassion with yourself, And ultimately, I think that through doing that, you might learn how to reconnect to the things that make you feel more alive, more passionate, more thrilled about life, And it might help you feel a little bit less of this like catastrophizing inner everything is horrible energy and really connect back into a sense of calm, a sense of peace. You might want to practice, you might want to look up on YouTube like a gratitude meditation or gratitude affirmations. I know for me, when I was in like my deepest, darkest depressive period for myself, which was, about 5 or so years ago, sillily enough and funnily enough, the gratitude affirmations videos on YouTube really, really helped me. And I think some affirmations, videos I don't think really help, where you're like telling yourself like, I am a wealthy, powerful, blah, blah, any of those like manifestation affirmations. Personally, I don't really like, because I feel like it's not, I think we got to meet ourselves where we are. I think that's really important to do, But what's great about the gratitude stuff is actually it's the gratitude ones are really great because it's like things that you actually have in your life that you can feel thankful for, Like I have a body. I am thankful for this body. It's really helpful to have this body. I wouldn't have this existence without it, that kind of thing. So Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising, I hope that that's helpful for you. And we're going to move on now. So next up, we've got Capricorn. So Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. What does Capricorn expect this week? Capricorn, you got a little bit of energy similar to Scorpio a little bit, but different. Capricorn, I think for you, I think that you are trying to do too much. And so I think that this week for my Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising is really offering you the opportunity to put down some of these wands here. What projects can you stop this week? And it doesn't have to be stopping it forever, right? I think that's really important to remember. You don't have to stop something for all time here. You don't have to stop something and never do it again. But if you're trying to do 10,000 things, you're not going to do any of them well, and you're going to feel terrible about all of it, right? So how can you put some things down and move into a place of moving into something different? Like just choose one of them, move away from some of the others for now. Like I said, it does not have to be forever, Capricorn, and that's important to remember. You can put down some of these projects that once you're finished with the other ones, you can pick that right back up and start it right where you are. So, do some thinking, think about what things you need to do now and what things you can wait a little bit for. And once you kind of figure out what it is, walk away from the things you can put down right now. That's fine. Cut out the things that are no longer working with the Queen of Swords. Some of these things, maybe some of these ones you don't even need to do anymore. Maybe you're just going through the motions from a long time ago. And actually, some of these ones you don't even need to be holding anymore. So, cut the things out that are ready to go. Let yourself focus on just like one or two things. And I think as soon as you do that this week, things are going to move way, way, way faster. We had the Hanged Man card in here too. I didn't pull it out. It almost pulled out. So I do think maybe you've been feeling stuck lately, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. And so I think you're going to feel really unstuck really quick by cutting out the things that don't need to be there anymore. What can you let go of? What can you move away from? And then how can you focus your energy and double down on the things that really do need to be there? And once you do that, I think it's going to move much swifter, much faster, and much more, connected to yourself. You'll feel a little bit better about it. And so that'll help you feel like, yes, okay, I know what I'm doing. I know where I am. I know who I am. I know what needs to be, and I'm going to go for it. Right. So I think that's going to be really huge for you this week. All right, Capricorn, that was it from you. Next up, we have Aquarius. All right, let me shuffle the deck real quick, Aquarius. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. What do my Aquarius need to know? Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Okay, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. What can we expect for my Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising? Okay, here we go. Lots of cards. All right, Aquarius, I think... Okay, Aquarius, we are entering the age of Aquarius, as I'm sure you've heard if you're into this kind of stuff, right? The new energies that are aligning with the world are clashing with the old ones, right? We all know this. I mean, it's no surprise to anybody right now that, all of our institutions are being rattled, energies being shifted. People aren't believing in the systems as they exist so much. And so Aquarius it's really up to you to, I mean, I don't feel any pressure about this either, but it's just by being yourself, by embodying your very nature and not fighting against yourself, by embodying your very nature, you help shake up that energy that's no longer working because you bring in the new energy just by being yourself here. So there's a sense here, moving on from these choppy waters into calmer areas. I think that my Aquarius is really tune into the things that are intuitive and knowable and knowledgeable to my Aquariuses, Sun, Moon, and Rising, aren't necessarily that way for everybody, right? And it's important to remember that if you really you tune into your own self and you're comfortable with your own self and you just embody that with the world, you give a sense of calm to the chaos, to the world. By doing that, you can help usher in this new era by just being yourself. So this week, there's something about that this week for my Aquarius to Sun, Moon, and Rising. I think as we really are facing this grinding point, something about this week of you just being unquestionably, unbearably your strange self, right? Not everybody's strange, obviously, but the Aquarian energy is really, it's like spacey, right? It's space age. It's out there. It's cosmic, right? So really tuning into that cosmic energy and being comfortable with it and living it as a badge of honor, it's going to help everybody feel more calm because you're giving everybody the signs of like, what? No, we can live in a new era that's peaceful, that's doable, right? We can take this energy and we can embody it and we can live it in a way that isn't chaotic and destructive. It's a way that's like real and doable and manageable. So it's up to my Aquarius is to really help embody that this week. And I think, you don't necessarily see everything going ahead, but you do see the next step. So take that as you need for my Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Take that next step, use it, jump in it, move through it, and take it one step at a time. And the more that you do, the more steps will align. This could also talk about the moon cycle, right? We just had the full moon. And so we're on the waning half of the moon cycle, right? We passed the halfway point. So the waxing is done. We're on the waning. The moon is leaving to the new moon. So there might be something about really taking the time to come back to the sense of calm that happens at the end past the full moon and really build up your energy for the new moon And there's something about this next moon cycle, I think, for my Aquariuses, sun, moon, and rising. The next new moon, I think, is going to be really, really powerful for you. So really get ready to take and push that energy forward as this new moon energy happens. So Aquarius, sun, moon, and rising. I hope that helps. Good luck this week. All right, last up we have Pisces. Pisces, sun, moon, and rising. What can my Pisces, sun, moon, and rising expect this week? What can we expect for Pisces, sun, moon, and rising? All right, here we go. Pisces, sun, moon, and rising. What can we expect this week for Pisces? 8 of Pentacles came out for so many piles, so that's definitely going to be something I address in the collective reading, but I think we all have been working really, really hard on something, and this week is going to be more hard work, but that's okay. Sometimes that happens. All right, Pisces, sun, moon, and rising. I think this week you have an invigorated new start towards the things that are really passionate for yourself. And this week is going to be really feeling movement towards your passion and drives, right? I think you've been working really, really, really hard on something that you're passionate about. And maybe you've been feeling a little bit at the end of your rope lately, right? For my Pisces, sun, moon, and rising, maybe you're just like, I don't even know if I can keep this going anymore. I've been working really hard and I'm starting to feel a little bit pooped out, right? But this week, I think you're going to feel a new sense of inspiration. You're going to feel ready to jump at this even harder. And there's really movement happening in this drive and this passion. So there's going to be a change, I think, in your passions that's going to help you maybe change the project. Maybe something's going to move forward for you. Maybe there's going to be a new opportunity for you coming this week. There's going to be something new is coming in that's going to help you change out of feeling like, I don't even know if it's going to happen anymore, to like, okay, no, this is real. I'm ready. Maybe this is just an inner feeling. You're going to feel more connected to your own inner self. And you had the Hermit card come out too. So I think that this is a week and an opportunity for you to really tune into yourself more, tune into your own needs, maybe to retreat a little bit from other people, to go off on your own. And that's going to help you, get the light from the lantern here, the light of spirituality. It's going to give you an opportunity to feel more spiritually connected, more like, oh, okay, I have this idea, I have this inspiration again, I have this knowledge, I have this understanding. And that's going to help you out a lot this week. So Pisces, sun, moon, and rising, hope that helps. All right, we're going to do the collective reading now. So what does the collective need to know this week? Big message for everybody is, I think we've all been working hard and we're all sort of like, when's it coming? When's it coming in? I've been putting in the work. When's it coming? So I think there's an importance of, taking a step back and seeing how far you have come, especially if you put in a lot of work for a long time somewhere. Small steps, one small step at a time, sometimes we don't even realize how far we've come. So there might be an opportunity for the collective this week to really tune into understanding that you've actually come a lot further than you've given yourself credit for. So that's potentially one message for all of us this week, is to, really ask ourselves, well, how far have I come this week? This lifetime, how far am I along on this? And, how can I feel better about that? How can I feel happier about that? How can I help myself feel more in tune with who I am and what I need, and feel less, anger towards myself, or less derogatory towards myself, or like I can't do something, or it's not worth it, or any of that kind of energy. So I think that there's a lot of illusions going on this week. I think that's kind of where we are, if you're in America at least, but I think as a world, I think there's a lot of illusions going on. We don't actually know everything that's happening in the world. And I think it's important to remember that, we listen to all of these people online and in podcasts and on TV and on the news, and everybody seems to know exactly the truth, right? And everybody's truth is different, and everything is just being spewed, blah, 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 right? So this is kind of telling us, and it's like, don't necessarily take everything that everybody says as at face value. Just make sure that you're being healthy skeptical about all the information that's coming in. Take a look at your information diet. Really ask yourself, okay, just take everything with a grain of salt. Don't take anything anybody says as 100% dogma. This is the absolute truth, right? Be critical. Use your critical thinking this week. I think it's going to be really important, no matter what's going on, because we don't know. We don't have all of the answers, and don't trust anybody who tells you they have all the answers, because nobody does. So really, that could be a real tell this week. If people are saying, I'm not really sure, this is what I think, but I don't know. If somebody's saying that, at least you can trust that you know, they're not just trying to say, no, this is it. Anybody who's saying, this is the way things are, and they're only this way, and it's going to be blah, blah, blah. Anybody saying that kind of thing, like, take that with a grain of salt, because we don't know. We don't know. This might be a really excellent week to tune into any kind of friendships and community that you have. So this, for the whole collective, anybody watching this, it's important to remember that, there are people around you who, want to connect. So how can you connect with your friends this week? Who can you spend time with? How can you socialize? How can you maybe take off some of these feelings of like, oh, I have to do this, and I've got to do this, and I got to be here, and I got to be blah, blah, blah. All these shoulds and supposed tos, or these inner, if you're going through any inner kind of serious things, like, I can't believe I'm doing this, and my life is blah, 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 and I'm never going to do blah, 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 and it's always going to be blah, 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 sometimes going out with friends, and laughing and being in a light levity energy can really help you remember, like, okay, all right, yeah, I'm going through my stuff, but like, I'm not the only human on this planet, right? My stuff is not the only thing that exists in the world. And maybe I can look at my own inner stuff a little bit less heavy and a little bit lighter, because I have friends and I have other people in my life who are also going through things. And, we can be in this together, right? You're not in this alone, right? You're in this together with other people. So this is a great week to really reconnect with friends and reconnect with your community in a way that, everybody can help each other out. And there's some real opportunity to overcome certain struggles this week. So for everybody who's tuning in, there's a real opportunity to overcome any kind of struggle energy. So if you've been going through some difficult things, there are ways to start to come to the other side of it here. And it's interesting with the seven of wands, he's not out of the fight, right? Look at him. He's not out of the fight, but he has come to the upper hand. He's in the upper hand of the battle. So you're coming to the other side of things this week, and there's an opportunity to kind of take that and use that energy to help yourself forward. Finally, there's a new energy this week coming in for everybody to feel excited again, to feel passionate about something again, to feel like there's possibilities again. So this week is bringing us opportunities to feel like things that we thought were impossible might start to feel more possible this week. Things that we thought, oh, there's no way this is going to work out. Maybe there's an opportunity to think like, oh, actually, now I'm seeing a way forward in a way that I didn't before. Maybe there is a way to do this. Maybe there is an opportunity here. Maybe there is something else going on here that I can use and hold on to take myself out of whatever this thing is that I'm stuck in, right? So I think there's a great opportunity for that. I want to do maybe 2 more cards. We'll take the bottom of the deck and we'll take the top of the deck, and then I think we're going to call it, because there's nobody here watching, so I might not leave it open to private readings unless I get some people in who want some. I'm just going to end it because I'm tired. But I love you guys. I want to be here every week, so sorry I'm a day late, but sometimes we just got to do that, right? I'm not going to be mean to myself. Oh, what? This is incredible. Okay, I took from the bottom of the deck and the top of the deck, and we have the very first card from the cups and the very last card from the cups. So that's pretty cool. This week, I think ultimately for all of us is a real opportunity to tune back into our emotions. Do not suppress your emotions this week. Even if you're on an emotional roller coaster, it's very, very important to be totally honest and present with yourself, to allow yourself to feel all that you need to feel, to any kind of thing. Even if you don't want to face it, feel it, go through it, let yourself go through the roller coaster, right? Because you got to feel all your feelings in order to come over that, right? Other thing too with these is be passionate to yourself, be compassionate to yourself this week. If things are hard, if things are challenging, give yourself a rest, give yourself a break. Love yourself, tune into that inner compassion, that inner love, that inner heart space of we're all humans. None of us are perfect. You are not perfect. You don't have to be perfect. If you feel any kind of pressure for perfectionism this week, really try to remind yourself, if you catch it, I'm not perfect. No human is. We're all flawed, and that's okay. None of us have to be perfect here. There's no perfection here. We're all human. So anyway, to everybody watching, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you have a wonderful week. I'll be back again next week, and hopefully there'll be a pick a card reading up this week too. I apologize, it's taking me a while. I'm really kind of, dragging my feet on that, and that's where I'm at. But I'll try to get those out there. And yeah, I got more stuff to come in the future, so stay tuned. I'm starting to do the shorts as well. So if you want at least a little bit of short things from me, definitely tune into those too. Catch you later, everybody. Goodbye. Have an excellent week.